to demonstrate the Yang long form of the Tai Chi Chuan as taught to me in the 1950s in the Far East by Master Choi Kam Man. The Tai Chi Chuan is a gentle exercise for the whole body, suitable for young and old alike. This video should be used in conjunction with learning from a master. I have performed these movements in such a way that if you stand facing your television screen, you can do the movements as if looking into a mirror. This movement is called holding the circle. Again, holding the circle, grasping the sparrow's tail. The bird closes its beak. Strumming the lute, holding the circle. The big bird spreads out its wing. Brush, knee, and push. Strumming the lute. Brush, knee, and push. Strum the lute. And the fisted hand is the Chuan. Twisted step. Push. Punch. Brush the sleeve. Carry the tiger to mountain. Fist under elbow. Step back to push away the monkey. The magic bird stands on one leg. And the big bird spreads out its wing. Looking for the golden needle. Opening the fan. The spoke of the wheel. The bird closes its beak. Waving your arms like clouds. Bird closes its beak. High pat on a horse. A soft kick. And a soft kick. Lift, draw across to the chest and sink. Open onto the parallel line and over. Twisted step, over and step. Push, punch. Lift, kick. Draw in. Lift and fist. Unclench, turn, step. Twist the tiger's ears, fist. Lift and kick forward. Draw in, open into the diagonal, arms down. And grasp the tiger by both ears. Down, across, lift and kick. Arms above the head, down. Feet parallel. Carry tiger to mountain and lift. Step on the parallel line, parting of the wild horse's mane, turn, circle, step, apart, turn, under, and step, last step, turn and sink. Press. Bird's beak, single whip and apart. Cross step over and fair lady works with shuttles and press. Ward off up and press. Ward off and press. Twisted step over and step, push and punch. Sit back, spoke of the wheel over and under. Single whip and draw apart. Cloud arms for the second time. Over, turn and down. Across. Step, down. Over. Step, down. Over. The snake creeps down into the water, comes up and transforms itself into a golden cock standing on one leg. Step back, golden cock on one leg. And lift, step and push away the monkey. Hold the circle and the bird slanting, flying up on one leg and down. Strum the lute turn, circle, step up. The bird spreads out his wing, arm down. Down for the golden needle, lift and open, fan through the back, open the fan. Bird's beak and single whip, draw apart. Cloud arms for the third time and down. Turn, lift and kick, hold, draw in, down in the twisted step and push, punch halfway down, sit back, over and under. Bird's beak for the last time and draw apart. Now the snake, down in the right leg and up. Lead with the back of the hand. Fist and reach up for the 7 stars. Step back, prepare yourself to ride the tiger. Then you ride the tiger, step out, lift, pick up the lotus flower with the leg, out, draw in, fist, and shoot out the arrow. Up above the head, down. Feet parallel, cross left arm, right arm, and bring the arms down to the side. Lift. And thank you.
turn. Step into the back diagonal, draw apart, and and step apart, and step, ward off, up, and sink. Turn in on the heel, draw in, body into the diagonal, now spiral around and push forward and lift across. And I have been teaching the Tai Chi Chuan for about 25 years in London. Back. It is interesting to see how many different types of people are drawn towards the Tai Chi Chuan, a wide range of professions and ages. In recent years, several people have come recommended by their doctors. People with high blood pressure, back pains, stiff shoulders, etc. The Tai Chi strengthens and straightens bad backs. I also work with many young dancers. It is helpful for them to learn something about how they can enhance their strength and energy to avoid injury and exhaustion. Many artists come, maybe because they feel that the Tai Chi helps their concentration and makes them think more clearly. The Tai Chi Chuan is a ritual. There is a pattern, and this pattern one must adhere to. There has to be form, but there must also be a certain freedom within the form, and this is where the individual comes in.
I've been doing the Tai Chi for about 3 years, I think. And certainly I feel, I mean, you talk sometimes about being able to feel the inside of your body and feel the bones inside one's skin. I certainly feel that, I think, now. And breathing, too. I mean, I know I can control my breathing much more because one does during movements of the Tai Chi. And then if I'm sitting anywhere, if I feel anxious, I feel I can get hold of my breathing and do the sort of Tai Chi breathing things in order to calm down. One of the things I've found is that walking now, if I walk just to catch the bus or coming around London, I find I can walk, I think, much faster and straighter. I mean, it's something to do with the movement of the legs and the putting of the feet in a straight line forward there, which I've never realized at all before. And some of those things you were telling us quite recently about the twisting the body, of taking one movement round that way and then the other movement right round the other way. And my back, it's terrific. I do this waving the hands like clouds under the shower every morning.
Yes.
That's terrific back exercise.
You said, you know, you're not the only dancer who's come to me with a bad back. And yeah, Tai Chi's helped many things which one can't say, pin down. I think most of all it teaches me to be present, whatever's going on. And it's not always easy or pleasant, but how to stay with things. Yeah. And stay in contact with the ground. I think that's probably the most helpful thing.
Yes. My personal interpretation of the Tai Chi has been much influenced by my previous training and the background I brought with me from Norway. I was born in a big house near the ancient stave church at Fantoft. And one of the first memories from my childhood is that church, with its dragon heads reaching for the skies. There always seemed to be something strange and mystical about it. As a child, I often walked in the park surrounding the church, and I have always been drawn towards nature. My grandfather would take me for walks through forests and mountains, and he told me how I had to move and walk in nature in order not to frighten away the wild animals. 20 years after my grandfather died, I found myself in China, and there I met an old master who taught me the Tai Chi Chuan. And the first thing he started talking about was how important it was to put your foot gently down with the sole of the foot in contact with the ground in order not to damage the earth. This was like hearing my grandfather all over again. They believe in the East that the first thing Buddha did was to walk 7 steps, and in each of his footprints a lotus flower grew. My old teacher said, "If you can walk on this earth in such a way that your foot can make flowers grow, then you know that you walk in the right way." When my husband and I went to China, we lived in the country outside Shanghai. During the summer in Shanghai, it was so hot that in order to get any exercise at all, we went for walks early in the morning. And one day we saw an old Chinese standing by a canal. We could see his mirror image in the water as he was doing some very slow movements. He concentrated so hard on what he was doing that he took no notice of us. As we were watching, I felt hot and cold up and down my spine, and I thought, what is this wonderful thing I'm seeing? And then I had a feeling that this was what I had been looking for all my life. Before we went to Shanghai, I had been studying psychology and dance and completed a learner analysis. I had a half-brother who became a schizophrenic. He thought that he received secret messages from India and China through his pulse. And as a child, I felt I could understand what he was talking about. And maybe it was because of my brother that I became so interested in these things. I have always been trying to find out what makes people tick. The sign Tai Chi is represented by a circle, and you see that the circle contains 2 fishes, each with an eye. The white fish has a black eye and the black fish a white eye. You have yang, which is masculine, and yin, which is feminine. Tai Chi means the 10,000 things, everything in the universe. And then you have the word chuan. Chuan means a fisted hand, and this fisted hand indicates the use of concentration and self-discipline, thus keeping our impulses under control and making of them servants, not masters. A principle of the Tai Chi Chuan is that before you start moving, you must find stillness. You have to find this stillness inside yourself. And the Chinese say that stillness is the master of movement, and that heaviness is the foundation of lightness. You must feel the force of gravity before you can understand lightness. In all the movements of the Tai Chi Chuan, there is a balance between the yang and the yin. The Tai Chi also teaches you about energy and change, and about how to make use of your energy in order not to waste it. This is what we often do in the West. We put far too much energy into what we are doing, and then we become totally exhausted. But if you study Tai Chi over a long period, you will learn to use your body and your spirit in such a way that you always have a certain amount of energy still available. As long as we are in this life, we live inside this body, and therefore it is important to use the body in the right way, so that we do not have our head in one place and our body in another. They both have to work together. If one tries to interpret the symbols of the Tai Chi Chuan in order of their appearance, they will show us an allegory of our journey through life. And this allegorical journey is the same for us all. The old form of Tai Chi Chuan consisted of 3 parts. At the end of each part there is a movement called "Carry the tiger in your arms and return to the mountain." To the Chinese, the mountain symbolizes stillness. The tiger represents energy. So when one has walked for a time on the path, one needs to have a rest. And then one embraces the tiger and returns to the mountain. When one is rested, the journey continues. The tiger features in other movements like grasp the tiger by both ears and hold tight, and grasp the tiger's ears and twist its head. These movements show how one has to wrestle with one's natural impulses in order to control them. It is said that the monkey represents human nature and that it was born good, but the monkey, just like human beings, was easily led into temptation. And the monkey is always there when one is trying to concentrate. And then, in the Tai Chi, there is a movement where you have to walk backwards so that you slowly push the monkey away. And when you have done that, and you have got rid of all your monkey thoughts, then comes a movement called the magic bird spreads out its wings. When the bird makes this movement, it is as if the whole body opens up, ready to receive grace. When you have received a blessing, you are ready to create. This idea is developed in a movement called looking for the golden needle at the bottom of the sea. The golden needle represents an act of original thought. The following movement is named opening the fan. In China, many beautiful paintings and works of art were made on fans. It is interesting that the whole of this sequence is repeated later in the Tai Chi Chuan, as if to show that it is not only once in life that you can be creative, but maybe you can do something even more beautiful later in life if you continue to develop. The next animal I want to mention is the snake. The snake in China represents knowledge and learning. There is a movement called the snake creeps down into the water, which means our search for the unconscious. The snake emerges having been transformed into a golden cock standing on one leg. The cock represents a new day and a new beginning. At this stage in life, one has accumulated experience. But if you want to find wisdom, you must let go of your knowledge and learning. So you have to let go of everything. Let it down into the water. Then you will be reborn, and the new you will look at life in a different way. In the last part of the Tai Chi Chuan, we have the symbol of the horse. In the early days, the horse was thought of as being aggressive, representing the conquering hordes invading China from the north. The only way one can overcome aggression is by being gentle. If you are frightened and full of aggression, the horse will feel the same. So you can only come close to the horse if you are gentle and unafraid. The next sequence is called Fair Lady Works with Shuttles. The Fair Lady is the Guan Yin, the goddess of mercy, and with her shuttles she is weaving a pattern between heaven and earth. This goddess came down to earth to help human beings when they were in trouble, and she wove a magic cloth, making the connection between heaven and earth possible. In the last sequence, we have the lotus flower, and the lotus flower represents everything which is beautiful on this earth. Before leaving this existence, you pick up the lotus flower and say thank you for everything that was beautiful in your life. Towards the end of the Tai Chi Chuan, you ride your tiger. You pick up the lotus flower and then you shoot out the arrow. When you know how to ride your tiger, you are in control of yourself, and then you can decide when it is time for you to depart, symbolized by shooting out the arrow, the soul leaving the body. One thing one has to pay attention to when practicing the Tai Chi Chuan is that one should not take oneself too seriously. The Chinese say that it is important to play and to enjoy life as well as being earnest.